What are the elements that you want to make sure of in the marketing pitch?
Yeah, it's a great opening. It's the fundamentals are exactly the same, whether it's personal branding or something that is institutional, or an organization or a product or an experience. The fundamentals are the same. People, the buyer, is constantly looking for, is this for me? Like, is this addressing me exactly where I'm at? Meaning my problem, my the gap between where I am and where I want to be. This is a problem. And does this thing represent an aspiration that I will be proud for other people to know that I'm involved in? And that's what Harvard did at one point. I don't know if it's as good, but Harvard, West Point, all these institutions that really became institutions because they just have phenomenal branding. And most people, and you and I both have a lot of friends that are very well educated. I'm not one of them, but
I disagree.
Well, not classically educated, let's say that. But it had this, Harvard, any Ivy League school has this aspirational feel to it. And most people are honest enough to know that it's not what happens in the classroom. It's the connections you make. And that's what justifies the expense. With something that is aspirational as well as a connection to a pain point, you can continue to scale that. I have friends of mine who years ago, friends who were members of the Soho House and were completely, like, I didn't know anything about it. They're like, oh, let me know when you're in Toronto. We'll go have lunch at Soho House. I'm like, what's this? And they're like, oh, dude. And they go on and on about Soho House. So I went to Chicago one time and
Chicago's is nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. So I went there. I was like, whoa, this is next level. And then over time, they diluted the brand.
Yeah.
Completely diluted the brand. And maybe they'll have a resurgence, maybe they won't. But the challenge for any, whether it's an organization, a product, if they don't maintain that aspirational feel, they're going to lose their momentum. And then that creates a vacuum for another competitor or better solution to come and show up, which is why, whether it's a person, the individual brand, or a company brand, being original, being authentic, and being crystal clear, that's the DNA.